Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. Today we're discussing something that was made from 1998 through 2006, part of the little known but wonderfully appealing Jaeger-LeCoultre Gran Sport series. This late 90s initiative to reclaim the 1930s sports watch origins of the Reverso model line led to a number of memorable pieces that are more durable and in many cases more complicated and unconventional by the standards of Reverso history. So what we're looking at here is a sporting version of 1994's Reverso Gran Duo face, or Reverso Gran Duo. That duo gave us a double-sided dual-time watch employing the Reverso's reversible case. But the Gran Sport is sportier, so you get more water resistance, you get more lume, you get a full steel bracelet and steel construction. This, of course, is the Gran Sport Duo. We're going to throw it on my wrist right now. My wrist is 16 centimeters. Let's get a sense of the size of this watch. It's not that far removed from the Gran Tie. Since these were designed in the 90s, they started with the Gran Tie, which was considered to be the big Reverso at the time, and then they worked towards the sporting model, the Gran Sport. So the watch on my wrist, we'll take a quick look first. From side to side, 29 millimeters, not including the crown. In thickness, it is 11.8 millimeters, and then from lug to lug, just the case, it's actually 43.6, which doesn't sound that broad, but the solid end links of the bracelet extend it to 50.2. So it wears, I would say, almost like a 41 or 42 millimeter round watch. Now I'll throw it on the wrist and you can get a good sense of how it fits. It's an easy watch to wear. Comfortable, flat, easily fitting under a cuff, beautifully made. I could recommend it for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. You can see there's plenty of room between the end of the lug and the edge of my wrist on either side. It's solid too, and it includes one of the best bracelets JLC's ever made. This bracelet actually debuted on the Gran Sport before finding its way to the Master Compressors and the Master Compressor Diving and Master Compressor Extreme and other model lines in the 2000s. But what I have to mention first is that I didn't give you a lug spacing measurement because this watch uses an unusual triple lug junction system, not altogether different from what Roger Dupuis used at one point. It means you have to use a JLC bracelet or strap or get something very laboriously custom made, but that's fine because this is a great bracelet. You can see it's got satin finished center links, polished outer links. Every single link is removable, so you can really fine tune the fit. And this is the key thing. These are not pin sleeves. This is not a cheap construction. This bracelet is built so every single link is held by a spring bar, not a pin sleeve, but a genuine spring bar, so all you need is a strap tool to size this bracelet. Taking a look at the clasp now, you can see that inside of each side of the clasp, there's a snap-in, snap-out system, very similar to Rolex's EasyLink, only you get two of them. There's one on each side. Each one is about 2.5 millimeters, so you can use one or both or neither to extend the bracelet and fine-tune the fit. Then we've got this double closure that uses little spring-loaded pins at center. And then you have quadruple triggers, so you need to press all four triggers to open this clasp. It's going to be very secure on the wrist. You can see underneath, it's designed to vent the wrist, neither pinching skin nor pulling hair. On the back, you can see that this is the design of the Reverso Gran Sport chassis, confirming that unlike the 30-meter standard Reverso, these are 50-meter watches. The watch includes a second time zone, and unlike the Reverso Duo of the 1990s, which generally required you to use a little pusher tool to jump the second time zone, here we get a trigger that makes it easy as pie. And you'll notice on the reverse side, we have a little 24-hour dial that allows you to know, for example, whether you're looking at 3:46 in the morning or in the evening. So you have this little 24-hour display. You can see right there, now we're passing into nighttime. So you know the time and you know the AM/PM status, and we may as well just quickly show this because I know you're wondering. Yes, it is a luminescent caseback, and on the dial side, That's luminescent too. A rarity for 90s reversos, fully loomed on both sides, so you can take advantage of both time zones. Also rare back in the 1990s, reversos with a date. There's a little pusher adjuster on the flank that allows you to adjust the date. Inside the chassis, you can see there's an engine-turned perlage pattern. We have broadsword hands on the dial, a little texture for both the center dial and the sub-registers. You can see that unlike a lot of dual-time watches, here the local time zone, which you can see is keyed to the date, actually features its own little 24-hour hand. And so you can see right here that there are two different lengths of hand. And so it is able, within those two semicircles, to indicate 24 hours. It is a very, very cool watch. The movement is based on the caliber 854 from the Reverso Duo, but this is the 851, which is modified in some ways to include the date, as well as some of the secondary displays, such as the second AM/PM clarifier for the dial side. Remember, you have AM/PM clarity for both sides. Note also we have this sort of pinstripe-like design on the outskirts of the reverse dial, and then that same sort of yellow brick road in silver, albeit at center. Now the movement is a manual wind. It's a 42 to 45 hour power reserve. It's a 3 hertz beat rate, and of course it has the complications. It's JLC designed and JLC built, manufacture in-house, so it has that kind of integrity about it. It is a JLC product through and through. A rare watch to find. Every version of the Reverso Gran Sport is kind of uncommon. They are my favorite sporting Reversos because their sizes are more manageable, and I prefer their design as a traditional rectangular Reverso as opposed to the square Squadras. I also thought in terms of price and size and weight, the Squadras were sort of overkill. They were very much of the 2000s, whereas this feels very much of the 90s, which means it has excellent manners and dimensions. You can see the one difference between this, well, really two differences between this and a standard Reverso. It has more of a taper as we move towards the end of the case, sort of like a barrel that thins out at the top and bottom, and then that triple lug junction system, which is a little bit unusual, but does make these watches quite distinctive. There's also a nice contrast when you have a black rubber strap in those lugs. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.